Welcome to this tour of vintage Hong Kong through old picture postcards. I've long had an interest in Hong Kong as a result of reading various books, novels, and travel magazines. In 1983, my wife Lily and myself spent our honeymoon there. My father was an avid stamp collector and had a large collection of Hong Kong stamps. Here we have a 19th century image of Queen Victoria. And of course, King George IV. The last of the British queens to appear on Hong Kong stamps, Elizabeth II. Since 1968, I've been quite an active amateur radio operator and worked many Victor Sierra 6 stations in Hong Kong, using CW or continuous wave and single sideband or SSB. This physical map of Hong Kong was done in the mid-1800s for a British magazine. Now let's look at a quick view of images of Hong Kong in the 20th century. Here we have a painting. A more modern panoramic view of the city. Hong Kong in the evening. And it's a city of lights at night, glimmering like a star. A recent photograph. Different eras. Now a look at Hong Kong streets through old postcards. The Christmas decorations of the Hong Kong Hotel. A British 19th century etching. A Chinese festival in Hong Kong. And more recent modern traffic. The Pepsi ad features prominently. The city is crowded. Some recent paintings of streets. Notice the double-decker buses. Many of the early postcards feature the tramway going to the peak. The tramway at Bowen Road. Here's the Kennedy Road and Peak Tramway. And a recent tramway shot. Another feature image of many early postcards is Hong Kong Harbour with its range of ships and Chinese junks. A very early 19th century British engraving, perhaps around 1850. A view of the harbor between Hong Kong and Kowloon. Another earthy engraving. An earthy painting done in the mid-1800s showing sailing ships of the British Navy. Another early panoramic engraving from the mid-1800s. This old postcard is dated 1905. Again, the central harbor with a view of Hong Kong. A very early postcard of a dragon boat in front of the customs building. This postcard, dated 1907, shows a paddle wheel steamer burning coal. Of course, the British Navy featured in many photographs. The HMS Britomart in the harbor of Canton River, and an early British dreadnought at about the time of the First World War. The ferry service. Another river steamer at the wharf. Many early postcards featured Chinese junks. This painting was done about 1850. And a more modern postcard. The Queen Elizabeth II anchors in Hong Kong Harbor. Another ferry shot. I think this could be Aberdeen Harbor. And finally, a big poster advertising Hong Kong by steamship. An early picture of public gardens, Hong Kong. Many of the early postcards showed pictures of the peak in Hong Kong. An early view of the peak in Hong Kong. The Peak Hotel in Hong Kong. And another view of the peak. This is labeled the water reservoir. Now let's look at some of the British colonial influence. A grandstand of the race course. A British public building of some kind. Quite a famous view for early postcards was some sort of monument to one of the British rulers. Queens to Garden Road. The public railway station for the Kowloon and Canton Railway. The Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank showing a definite British influence. A very early postcard showing the Hong Kong Hotel and the harbor. Now we'll take a look at people of Hong Kong in early postcards, a 19th century British engraving. Flower Street. A shoemaker. Another cobbler. Showing Hong Kong chairs and rickshaws. Hard work on the wharfs. A Chinese woman weaves silk. A postcard labeled Chow Chow on the hillside. A postcard celebrating Hong Kong in 1997. Thanks, viewer, for joining me on this quick tour of vintage Hong Kong through old postcards. I do hope you have a pleasant day.